What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl back at it again. My name is Mary Ann Mwangi. I am a Kenyan living in Germany. I am a student of nursing and I also study applied nursing science in Germany. As you already read on the title, today I'm taking you through the application process for nursing school. We've already mentioned the requirements on this channel. We've mentioned about all that good stuff. What are the benefits and what are some of the hardest parts of doing nursing school in Germany? Today, I'm taking you through the application process. Now, this might differ for every person, especially if you're applying to different states. And it is very independent, but there are some of the things that are very general and very basic, and also some of the things that are specific to certain things. I'm going to be mentioning them today. If you like this type of content, make sure you leave the thumbs up here for me. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification channel, and let's go. Get fantastic rates with TapTap Send. You can now send money to Kenya at very great rates and zero transfer fees. You can send money from the USA, Canada, Germany, Italy, France, Belgium, Spain, and even the Netherlands. Trust TapTap for convenient, safe, and fast transactions. You can send money to M-Pesa and 2 Kenyan bank accounts. Download TapTap Send on Google Play Store and get a bonus on your fast transfer. TapTap, me chap chap. Use my code MaryAnn007 and get €10 on your first. Like I say, this is going to be a two-part video. Okay, I don't think I already said that. This is going to be a two-part video. One, I'm going to be taking you through the application process, and the second part is going to be telling you about the interview. Because once you're done with knowing about nursing, you know the requirements, you know how to apply, the next thing is usually the interview. And these are going to be two parts. Well, two I've already done, and the other two is now this one, and the other one that I'm going to be uploading in this week. So let's start with the requirements. I already mentioned this multiple times in my channel, but I'm just going to mention it here quickly. You need at least proof of 12 years of school, depending on how you guys call it in your country, O-levels, high school, secondary certificate, whatever you want to call it, but you need at least 12 years of school, or maybe 10 years of school with 2 years of experience, maybe as a volunteer, and so on and so forth. You require a German language minimum of B1 or B2, depending on where you apply and how fit you feel. Like I usually say, I had C1 when I applied for my nursing school, and I had challenges at the beginning of my Ausbildung because of the German language. But if you think you can start with a B1, go ahead and do it. Make sure you put in a lot of effort, but I'm just trying to tell you it's not easy, but you can always do it. Not that it's impossible, it's also allowed. It just depends on where you applied, what is the requirement, and so on and so forth. But you cannot do an Ausbildung with anything less than B1. And usually the most common level is B2 level. So you already have all your documents that you need to be able to apply for school. There are certain things that differ in different states. For example, in the state I live in, which is Niedersachsen, you don't need to certify your documents before you start your application. But in other states, you must certify your documents. And the problem is, they want you to certify your documents in Germany. And the problem within the problem is the fact that the offices that are responsible for certifying your documents, they often ask you for a confirmation from your school that you applied for and they requested you for this document. They ask you to tell the school to tell them that you need that document. And that is usually a little bit hard. So I keep advising people, keep checking which are the states that don't need you to do that. But if you have to do that, I have seen it work for multiple people. But make sure you also inform yourself about the whole process, where to start, where to begin, what to do, and so on and so forth. Just so you know, you need to certify your documents, and you certify them at a place called an Anerkennungsstelle. Once you've certified your documents and you've already chosen maybe the school that you want to apply, some people also use one school to certify their documents, and then now with the certified documents they send them to different schools and try to get themselves a contract for the course. But you can also just use the same school that supported you, and then you can always just finish up with them. The next thing you need to do, for example, if you're applying as an immigrant who is not already living in Germany, the other thing that is very important is your accommodation. you need to sort your accommodation before you go to the embassy. They are going to be asking you for that. So how do you do this? If you live already in Germany, you already know about Wohnungsgemeinschaft, which is like shared apartments. You can always look for that and share an apartment with someone. Number two, the school sometimes usually offers accommodation, and not usually so often because mostly they're full. But you can always get a school that has an accommodation. Like in my case, I have a school that has an accommodation. But if you're applying out of Germany, make sure you sort about your accommodation before you go to the embassy. That could deny your visa if you do not have that sorted. How you can do this is, if you have maybe relative living here, they can always write a supporting document that they're going to host you. 1. 2, you can always find a contract that starts and states that the contract starts when you get there. You can always find someone to write you that kind of document. You can always get into some kind of contract with looking for a house online and so on and so forth. As I'm mentioning this, I know how hard this is, so make sure you apply to also schools that offer you accommodation, because they can always write a supporting document saying we're going to be taking this student and we're also going to be providing accommodation for them. The other thing that you need that is very, very important is proof of means of sustenance. Now, the good thing about the nursing school program in Germany is that you get paid actually enough to be able to live here as a student. What do I mean by this? You get paid some good amount, and usually as a student, you need a minimum of about 850 euro to survive here as a student and be able to have enough time for your studies. Good thing is the training that we go through in Germany pays us enough for us to be able to sustain a living. So you can always argue your point out, for example, at the embassy, that you can be able to sustain a living. Like, we're talking about the application process, and these are some of the bits and parts that are really, really important that would cost you your whole application process. So make sure you're very careful about the things that I'm going to be mentioning in this video. So now you've gathered all your documents and now you don't know where to send them. I'm going to give you a trick. The thing is, the curriculum of this training is the same everywhere. If you're supposed to start it, for example, at a geriatric institution or a pediatric institution, you and someone who's doing it at a different institution are doing the exact same thing, only your employers are different. So if you're sending your applications, you can widen your scope by applying to a pediatric institution, to a geriatric institution, to psychiatric institution, or to independent schools that have cooperations with different hospitals, and they can also be able to train you. So when you're sending your applications, make sure you broaden your scope and your spectrum, so you can be able to get as many positive replies as possible. So that is mostly it about the application process. The next thing that comes after this is definitely the interview. And who am I? My name is Mary Ann, so I'm definitely going to prepare you for the interview as well. If there's anything I didn't address on this video, make sure you watch my previous videos that talk about nursing school in Germany and everything it costs, everything it is. And make sure you also watch this video, and the video that I'm going to be posting next, it should answer most of your questions. In case I didn't answer any of them, make sure you drop them down for me in the comment section. I'm going to be responding to you, and I wish you all the best in your application process. At this point, I'm going to end this video here because it's already really quite a good length. I like it. And I'm going to be wishing you guys a lovely day or a lovely night. Bye.